Right, my friends, today you join me at Loading Bay in Glasgow, Scotland. We're going to be doing a tour of some of the worst and maybe even some of the best skate parks in the entire city of Glasgow and the surrounding area. Starting off in an indoor skate park, and we're being tour guided around by one of the locals. So I'm super excited about this. He set us out a whole journey, and we're going to tackle some of the worst skate parks I've ever seen in the world, as well as some good ones along the way. So with that being said, we're going to have a little warm up here at Loading Bay and then get onto the road. Warm up over, a couple of tricks down. Really nice park. If you're ever in Glasgow or in Scotland and just want to have an indoor place to go and seek refuge, this is definitely the place to be. I'll leave a link to their website in the description, but we've got so much more to go over today, so let's not dawdle any longer and get a move on. So as we're being toured around by the gentleman beside me, Travis and Father, they've given us a Scottish care package. In this, we've got all kinds of Scottish delicacies. Iron brew, we've got haggis, tea cakes, Scottish shortbread. What more do you need? And obviously these guys' channel, their Instagram, their TikTok, it's going to all be in the description. So if you want to give them some support for supporting us, please do so. Anyway, to the next skate park. My friends, you join me at one of the DIYs of Glasgow. Babes, if you would walk this way, mind the fridge at the front door. It's just a casual staple of a DIY skate park. Bring yourself through and let's get a little tour going. But yeah, this is a DIY. If you don't know what that means, it means that skaters have built it themselves, basically. And usually you can tell, like stuff like this, like these ramps here, you wouldn't see this at a standard issue skate park ordinarily, but still, it kind of brings out the creativity of skaters and what you can do with what you've got, really. You've got to make use of it. These sort of ramps here, you just got to work with it, really. It's like something off someone's front garden right here, but still, again, you could drop in off this little wall here. It looks like a TV set or a tombstone on top of a ramp, but this is actually pretty cool, to be honest. As long as you can avoid the rubble, you should be able to get quite a good session here. So let's have a try. I mean, this place, it's pretty impressive how much they've got here. They've got so much stuff going out here, like mini volcanoes, two and a bit volcanoes. You got little hips in the corners to carve around. This bit here definitely looks like the sketchiest bit. Like if you see this, it's like a tiny little lip to lip, and then if you're gonna hit that, I don't know how you're planning on it, unless you just use it to drop in and go in, but let's have a see if we can actually use this. I'm gonna pretty much land straight on transition here. Yeah, we can at least hit one lip trick on there. One more. Whoa, so much speed. I'll try a rock fakie and then just like a fakie big spin out of the ramp. See if we can do it. No!
Because each one of these arches, you see them all the way around?
Yeah.
So that's the reason for calling them the arches.
Oh, cool. I don't know if you just heard my friend right there, but the reason why it's called the arches is because of the arches in the concrete all the way around the edge. I mean, you got a big gap in the wall there and a nice big gate to see us off, but it's a very cool place to be. Tell you what, I'll pop from here into that and then go down. Good start. All right, you ready? There we go. How diddly do. I mean, so far, so all right at this park, isn't it? One of my favorite obstacles right here, a little bank to ledge. See if we can do a little shove it and then drop in. bad. That wasn't very well prepared for. That was the right line. Yeah. I didn't pop again. It's kind of terrible. No. Okay, so that pretty much concludes our session at Archer's DIY. Personally, I would give this one like a 4 out of 5 Tonys. It was great to skate, but didn't have much there for beginners, and it is a bit sketchy in some places. But the next park we've got is going to make you laugh, because this is one of the worst ones I've ever seen in my entire life. Skate parks. Something we love, something we cherish, something we appreciate more than anything ever. Today, we mourn the loss of something that once was. Let's take a look at this right here. What do you think, guys? Is this skateable still? Every time I do a crappy skate park review, everyone's like, you would have been blessed to have that. Yeah, I wish I had that when I was younger. To be honest, I bet 50 years ago when you were younger, guy who's commenting that on my video, this probably was all right. Like the material here, I mean, it looks literally like a hobo has been burned alive on the floor right here, because the remnants, I mean, tell a whole story. We've got pumpkin from the Halloween that we've just had, and an abundance of glass and seeds from said pumpkin. Do I think this is skateable in its current state? Certainly not. With a bit of love, care, DIY, and a heavy buffer of the floor, quite possibly a skateable spot. And I think if you wanted to take that project on, you, my friend, are a lunatic. But this spot is only half of what we have in this park right here. What we have over there is going to blow your minds. Well, my friends, you thought it couldn't get much worse than that last place, and you were deadly wrong. This one is dastardly, if I do say so myself. Like, I mean, look at this. This is actually, to be honest, if you cleared this out, not terrible. Like, if you look at this right here, it's got a lot of glass in the bottom, so it is a bit risky for a drop in right now. It's got plastic forks, all kinds of stuff, and you wouldn't have a terrible skate park review without a signature shopping trolley of some description. Coming over here, if I go into estate agent mode, we've got one of the finest spines you've ever seen in your life. It's super steep on one side, really mellow on the other side, perfect for any beginner looking to get into skateboarding or scootering or anything you like. A rail that looks more like an ancient artifact uncovered by some sort of spelunker, I don't know. You see this right here leading straight into the bush. You've got thorns on either side. Absolutely beautiful. Now, you've heard of a slappy curb, right? It's literally just like a curb you put in the middle of the park to slap your board onto and do some grinds. Well, this right here looks like one of the most pitiful attempts at that we've ever seen, and it's been reclaimed by Mother Nature. It was so terrible. I'm surprised she even wants it, to be honest. Going down here, we've got 2 more obstacles at this park. Remember a pyramid box? Well, this looks like the B-Tech version of that. It's more like a square nipple coming out of the ground. And I mean, could you go over it? I guess so. Would you want to? Definitely not. And again, Mother Nature has claimed it for herself. The final object of this park, right next to my good friend Travis here, is this Roland with a double barrel rail that leads us out of the park, which is where you're definitely going to want to be going after you've seen all these obstacles. This is tragic. 1 out of 10 Tonys. Travis, what would you give this out of 10?
1.
He gives it a 1 as well. Great minds think alike. Let's get to the next park. So it goes without saying that this is one of the worst skate parks I've ever tested in my history of covering terrible skate parks across my channel. Obviously, this isn't going to rank any higher than a 1 out of 10 as you saw me and Travis get it. I do attempt a couple of tricks on the double barrel rail, and let's see if I can actually land it clean and then move on to the next park.
Very good.
Thank you. Location numero 4. This one actually looks fairly decent. It's got some good bits, it's got some very questionable bits, and we're going to go through them all real quick. We've got what was at one point the longest rail in Scotland. Is it still to this day? I don't know. We'll maybe find out, maybe we won't. We've also got in the background the steepest banks known to the modern world. If you have a look at this right here, it's about 7 or 8 feet, and the degrees on it is very much intimidating to the average man. I don't know if you do much on this, and the quarter pipe, I mean, while a bit more excusable, is of a very similar vein. But while these look bad, we've got something on the other side that's gonna blow your socks off even more. A very modest pyramid bank painted in black. This one, not too bad to be honest, a lot better than the one we saw at the last park. But these banks here and this hip is what we really need to take a look at. Babes, if you come this way. I mean, let's take a look at these ledges right here. This one does have a fair run up on top, but the size of it and how steep it goes, I mean, you'll be hitting warp speed and almost transporting yourself to the next dimension. Dare I say the shadow realm if you try and jump straight onto that and come off the other side. Going up the ramp, if I can even get up here with this coffee and drink. Not bad, not bad. The hip, this is ridiculous. Looking straight down at this, it's literally like an Egyptian pyramid with how steep this thing is. The ramp's fairly smooth, but ridiculously steep again, and the stair set has almost no run up. I'll film a bit of B-roll up here so you can see, but there's about maybe 10 meters, maybe a bit less, of run up to this giant stair set and rail that cuts off a little bit prematurely, but the rest of the park is actually a lot more usable. So let me ride down this real quick. So I think the middle of this skate park is where this place really shines. The banks, although they are super steep, actually tie this together quite nicely with the quarter on the other side. Like, they're super mellow in the middle, and you've got ones of all different shapes and sizes, and that quarter pipe at the end is so long that you could literally hit like a 10 meter, 20 meter board slide or 50-50 on there. And the banks are really fun to do tricks to fakie on, like you saw there. The rails on the outside, you've got a small one for beginners and the ultra long one you saw me board slide at the start of this section. And that's not including the giant mini ramp as well. This thing was so good. Overall, I give the skate park 3 out of 5, but the one we've got next is actually gonna make you feel a bit sick after seeing this, so brace yourselves. So we've arrived. This skate park has been on my radar for about 3 to 4 years, and to see it in the flesh, incredible. Absolutely incredible. As you can see here, this is more like a pyramid built for the ancient Egyptians rather than an actual spot itself. Babes, if you'll come over here, I mean, you've got 3 stairs, nowhere to hit them from. You've got a handrail down the side, and I mean, you might even argue if this is built as a skate park or not, but why else would you put the rail downside the monument? And why else would you have this one right here? Whoever put this in, I don't know what they were smoking, but wondering where we can get some of that. This unskateable, but I've always wanted to see it, and maybe we can actually skate it if we hit it from like here. Just one push and ollie the gap. Oh, barely even an ollie, clip the tail, but probably the most skating this spot has ever seen in its recent years.
That's outrageous.
I know. Maybe a caveman board slide? Oh, that's scary. I don't know. Someone's been smoking some of that wacky backy up here. Okay, let's try. Oh no. That is slick. Very slick. It's not so much icy, but it's just steep, isn't it?
Oh man, I can't even sit there properly.
I don't know, we'll see. No, I don't know. I don't know about that.
When I seen the picture of it, I was tempted to the power ollie board slide, but then when you get here and it's all like ice everywhere, it's just like...
It's a bit sketchier, yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's actually... I mean, you need more of a... I don't know if I could get the height to get my wheel fully over it. I think maybe the caveman board slide is possible. If I get on a bit lower down. Just scary.
I think it's too steep.
It's all about how you lean. Okay, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yeah, you got this.
One more time. My life. And straight into the mud. There we go. Officially skated the worst park in the world. That was a clean one. That'll do. Cracking iron brew at the worst park in the world. What do you think, Trav?
I couldn't crack mine.
Cheers. How many Tonys would you give this?
5.
5?
That's generous.
You're a generous man giving this 5 Tonys.
I actually like it.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you come back here and train more often then, yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry, Travis, even though you give this one a solid 5 out of 5, I'm actually going to have to drop this down to a 1 out of 5 because sadly, not quite skateable and not really worth heading to for most people, although it is obviously a fan favourite. I actually did manage to get an ollie, a boneless and a kickflip, but yeah, still pretty unskateable for most. Let's get to the next park. Right, another pit stop on our journey of finding the best and brightest of Scotland's area skate parks. Basically, just a concrete hill with a couple of little metal ramps on the side of it. This one's like a little jump box. This is a little jump box with a very suspicious square rail. Not much to be said about this one, apart from if you like flatland, you're in for a treat because there's plenty of it. But if you like ramps, you've only got one way because you're going to be sent straight into the grass. To be honest, the skate park's not got much to it. As you can see from right in front of me, this one's just a quick spot on the list, but had to be done nonetheless. You know, we like to sample only the best goods when we travel around this beautiful country. Can you follow this all the way around? I don't think you can because you'll go straight into the grass and out of the park. I'll give it a try. That didn't work very well. I sunk straight into the mud. Well, some lessons we learn the hard way, and thankfully I didn't fall into the road. I think we've got perhaps one more park on this list. Better make it a good one to make up for that. That was a mess. Jesus Christ, what about that fall into the grass, hey? Absolutely tragic. But yeah, I think it goes without saying that this one is fairly decent if you like lived in one of the houses next door or were super close. I mean, you've got basically a back garden skate park if you live nearby. The ramps, fairly fun to roll down, and the little bits, not too bad if you want to practice, and plenty of flat ground. I'd give this one a 2 out of 5 Tonys, TBH. The fifth and final park of the day, with some of the most ambitious ramps I've seen in my entire life. The first and only full loop that I've ever seen right here. A roll-in, probably a little bit higher than an actual skyscraper from where I'm standing right now. This bit, a lot more manageable. Let me come up and give you a proper tour. You hear that? echoes through time. This vert ramp right here, I mean, coping on the side for anyone that wants to drop into 50-50, but this rolling is so ridiculous. It would be an incredible athletic feat just to get up there to ride down. Like, it literally dips in and goes out again. Something that I've never touched before, and will I touch now? Certainly most not. Certainly most not. Scholar again. Nice big bowl here for anyone that's into that. Very concrete heavy. You got a dipped section there. This is all probably about 10 to 12 feet. That one's very deep, and it's got tiles all the way around the outside. The full loop, I'll put some B-roll on screen now because very, very cool looking, and I don't know if anyone's ever done it. Has anyone ever done the full loop, do you know?
I don't know, sorry.
No, I don't know either. That looks very sketchy. But yeah, let's do that tour of this section over here. Lead the way. Yeah. We're now going over to the original section where the park was born. This is, as I've been told, one of the most historically rich skate parks in the UK, not just Scotland, in the whole UK. This skate park is a heritage site, so no matter what happens, it can't be destroyed, altered, it can only be improved, as far as I believe. We got socks right here, a staple of any good skate park in Scotland. This place is absolutely massive.
It's huge, isn't it?
Like this whole bit here, this looks pretty old, this section.
This is the newest section of the park.
Yeah.
And your bowl. So this was the first original section of the park.
Yeah.
They then moved and built into what I would call
The new section.
The new section. They then built the newer section up the back here, and then finally this section here.
They thought we haven't got much for beginners, so let's put this in here, just to make it a bit more inclusive. Because that up there, I mean, the bars on top, man, make it look like an absolute monument. So this is the oldest bit.
This is the oldest section.
This, like,
you notice no coping.
Yeah, I've noticed. Yeah, no coping on there, and it's a very mellow entrance too. So let me give it a little test run. Test the oldest part of one of the oldest skate parks in the country. That is crispy. But to be fair, for what it represents, it's not too bad. Quite hard to keep the speed going though. God, I need to soften up my wheels, I reckon, for riding that.
Aye, the flow's kind of more like that way.
Yeah.
And then come back, and even then there's like a mile of flat.
Yeah, that takes some seriously soft wheels to adapt to, I think. Let's go check out the big pool section in the back corner. Do you want to step through?
No.
Okay.
The little bowl, big bowl. The waterfall on this one is fun. Should I say?
Whoa, that is sketchy. Yeah, that, like, in the middle is where it's obviously the most achievable. Then you've got big lips either side. But it's a very cool paint job. Like, the spider on there looks pretty sick.
Tony Hawk's skated this.
Tony Hawk has skated this bowl, has he?
Hawk has skated this bowl.
So it's been christened by the Hawk Man himself. I mean, it's hard to show on camera exactly how big this is. Sure. Okay. All right, I'll get in there. It's actually really, like, quite rough in there. I mean, how do I look? It's got to be like 11 feet, or maybe 10? Would you say that is double my height? 100%. Yeah. I mean, the coping's like super crispy as well. So it seems like if you were to hit this and grind that, you got some serious confidence. But if anyone can do it, Mr. T Hawk can just about get out of it. Very nice, very good. You got so much here, so much transition, so many options, so much places for spontaneous creativity. You even got a phone number for a free BJ on the floor over there. So,
Blurred out.
I mean, fair enough. Ending us back at the full loop. Babes, if you stand here, I'll go in there. I will embark on this quest. My water! I completely forgot that giant pool was there. But yeah, that pretty much ends this video. This is extremely echoey. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.